happens. That's all I can say. I believe it says it's setting up YouTube Live, but sometimes it's always off base and I can never tell. So I believe we're on now. And hello and welcome, everyone.
Hi.
So today we're going to do little episodes from Holistic Health on Topic, which is a 60-minute talk on specialties. Now, we had our beautiful Stefanie Bay as our guest then on July 31st, GameChanger Breath. And so now, today and the next two following Thursdays, we have three episodes, which are both just about 10 minutes apiece, 10-ish minutes apiece. And we're deliberately pulling out some very strong key points for you. So you can focus on that aspect. We'd love to hear from you. If I can figure out when watching the chat while I'm here live with you, I'm not so great at it, guys. I apologize ahead of time. But we are here and we are here to help enrich your life. That is always our goal, and to bring more light into your world. And so, with that, I would love for you to welcome our beautiful Stefanie Bay, coming all the way from Germany. Hello, Steph.
Hi, Karina. Nice to be here tonight and really putting the camera on the spot on the hijacking how the breath can how stress can hijack the breath, literally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yes, and that is the series of these three small episodes.
Mhm.
That is that your stress can hijack your breath. Now, what does that even mean, and is that possible? So this first episode is about survival. Are you in that mode, or are you in the freedom mode? And with that freedom, how do you know? Well, guess what? Your breath can mirror your state in
Mhm.
which you're in.
Mhm.
So, having said that, Steph,
Having said that, yeah.
I'm going to give you the floor to elaborate to our gorgeous audience.
Yeah, actually, the breath, it's there's a bridge between the body and the mind. And when we are, for example, in a state of stress, this means that our nervous system is in sympathetic strain. This means that we are in a fight, flight, or freeze mode, which let us breathe shallow, which let us breathe on the chest, which is not so good because then the whole emotional and hormones are changing, and this brings us really into an alert state. Whereas when we are more relaxed in a mood of relaxing and meditating, uh, this is really where the other part, the vagus nerve, is activated. And when we breathe like deep, when we breathe with the diaphragm, and this is really shifting states very easily with the breath. So stress is
Absolutely.
always, yeah, stress is
Now,
always
here's the
feeling.
thing though, a lot of people don't even understand what the vagus nervous system is
Mm. The
and
vagus
how
nerve, yeah,
huge
how
the
huge that
network,
is.
that the
Yeah,
highway it is for all the
yeah.
communication. So, you want to give them a little insight on that?
Yes, the vagus nerve is actually part of the parasympathetic part of the nervous system. And it's a nerve that is like a vagabond, which because it starts in the brain and literally goes through the stomach, through your whole body. And it's really linked to digestion, to regeneration, to relaxation. And if you breathe in a certain way, if you breathe the way where we relax, where we breathe deeply, we activate that nerve, that vagus nerve, and this brings a certain mood of relaxation into the body, so we can easily shift that.
Absolutely. And the reason why this happens, it's literally connected to every single organ in the body, from the brainstem
Mm-hmm.
into every organ.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, if the communication is not so great, and when you're in the sympathetic, the shallow, the desperate, the survival mode, information, communication starts getting cut off, and stress over a long-term period of time, it starts to inflame and then destroy
Hmm.
the NTs in the system. And so the communication gets wonky to real bad. And yet
Hmm.
we can help
Yeah.
prevent this.
That's why we really say the awareness of the breath is really important, because we think it's normal to breathe because it comes and goes. But if we take it as a more, it's a capital, it's a really a capital for life, for power, for freedom, for creation, creativity, innovation. So it's really a resource where we have to put the spot on, because if it's once gone, it's gone. So, and we can train it. This is why it's
Absolutely.
so easy to use. We have that available to us.
Yes, and that's the whole point.
Yeah.
It is available to us, but we have to put the light back
Mhm.
onto the fact that breath is our
Mhm.
life force energy.
Yeah.
And without it, we're not going to be alive.
Yeah.
So the beautiful
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is we can cultivate how we breathe consciously.
Yeah.
And
That's true. But it's very difficult these days because the stress level is so high on nearly every part of our lives. There's so much going on in the world that this is a real the new default mode, like how we can really easily learn to breathe more consciously, very easily to integrate in the day, so that we can widen the stress tolerance window, that we can really get more resilient.
exactly. Well, that is a very key factor
Yeah.
in resilience. So when you're speaking about it can mirror your state,
Mhm.
you want to let them know what that means a little bit more?
Yes, for example, waking up in the morning, you had a great sleep tonight, and then you open up your emails. First thing, you read a line which is really stressing you out. That means your heart rate is increasing, your breath's getting shallow, it's getting tighter. This really changes your emotion. You get in a certain kind of alert, being maybe angry or coming into an actionable mode. So, and here you are, you're already shifting your state. So, and then implement the breathing and um, take a deep breath and take a second or two to just realign with yourself and with the breath is really key.
Yes. Now, when you
And then
say
it's shifting.
align with the breath, a
Yeah.
lot of people don't really understand what that necessarily means either. Okay, so we're talking about communication with the breath and the body
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yeah.
stillness. And so
Yeah.
we're bringing it back there. So you did, and examples, there's tons of examples. Of course, emails like one of the biggest things that first hit
Yeah.
us. And
Even
we
walking up the hill, walking up the hill, breathing through the nose, and suddenly you're shifting to mouth breathing. Yeah, because it's more difficult to climb the hill than you thought it would be. So this is
yeah.
yeah, and we all know that.
Yeah, we've been sitting
Suddenly
at
you
the
find
computers too
yourself
long.
breathing through your mouth. Yeah, this is so there. So yeah, but there are tons of even tiny minutes you're reading something, or you're envisioning something when you're watching something going on the street, or you have someone who's really you have the news in politics, what you're reading every day. This can really bring some kind of yeah, people are alert, people are frightened what's going on. So, and this is has an impact. Emotion always has an impact on breathing, and breathing always has an impact on emotion. So vice
Exactly.
versa. So it's influencing, it's mirroring always.
Exactly.
And
And
it's
when we
clear.
want to honestly start to align better with our soul purpose, then our emotional state is a very key factor
Mhm.
and receiving what we need. in order to communicate back to the universe. But we're not getting into that today.
No.
But know that it's a factor. It's a
Yeah.
strong factor here, guys. But just to feel good, to have the endorphins in your moving through your cells to go, this is a nice day,
Mm-hmm.
instead of, oh God, I have to face this now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does bring up very strong old triggers too, unconscious beliefs that you don't even know that are residing, and boom. But you can switch that really fast, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to consciously stop, pause, breathe for a second, bring your breath
Everything.
calmer,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Breathe
make a
through the
conscious
nose. Yeah.
choice to switch
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nose breathing. It's always the nose breathing. It's not the mouth breathing.
Yes, because that actually can cause a lot more anxiety.
Yes. Because as we know, the mouth breathing is connected to the sympathetic part of the nervous system and the nose breathing to the parasympathetic part. So that's why it's always good to breathe through the nose.
Excellent. And not that everybody knows that stuff, so but now they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
excellent.
it's always good to know why we do things because then because sometimes it's better to shift it when we know that there's a
Absolutely.
biological reason why we do this.
There's an anchor to the
Yeah,
purpose, and
yeah.
sometimes that's exactly what we need
Mm-hmm.
in order to instill a new behavior,
Mm-hmm.
which takes time, consistency, and practice.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, there you have it. Breathe through the nose. Recognize the fact that you can get triggered on any simple little thing. Stop for a moment, pause,
Mm-hmm.
calm your breath, and make a choice to switch it and live more in the joyful state, which you can control. Yes, it could be moment to moment, and that's okay. But each moment you have a choice.
Yes. And maybe Karina, next week we do an exercise,
Yes,
so that people can really breathe with us for 2 or 3 minutes, that we can really try and practice, so that they
absolutely.
know how to breathe, what it looks like.
To experience what it
Yeah.
is, and so it
Yeah.
really lands for you. And we'll love to do that. And
Mhm.
thank you for coming. This is the first time we're doing the highlights. We're going to bring it more and more. Still look for the signage about the webinar. It's still available to the 19th. You want to learn more how to connect to source energy and really start aligning with your path as we were talking, and with breath. You get to sit at your own pace and really get to get nourished with this information and start putting it into practice. So we'll love to see you over there as well. And anybody that wanted that beautiful handout and guide that Stephanie offered, go back to July 31st on the replays here. And you are more than welcome to pull that up as well. So
Mhm.
until next week, we're coming next week, episode 2. Let us know at any time how we can help you more, and just breathe.
Breathe.
Sending you off with love and blessings. Everyone, God bless.
Bye.